There is a strange feeling hanging over the Houston Texans right now. We have seen the front office move with such aggression this offseason, locking down our future stars and ensuring our Super Bowl window stays wide open. But while those signatures hit the paper, one massive, looming cloud remains. Our star, the heartbeat of this franchise, is still waiting. It feels like a silent countdown has begun. Real fans know that chemistry and security go hand in hand. If you are faithful to this team, hit like and subscribe. Is something changing behind the scenes with our star? And we finally have to talk about it, because the silence is getting loud. CJ Stroud is entering a pivotal stretch, and yet there is no extension in sight. It feels surreal to say that when you look at how much work Nick Caserio has done to solidify this roster. We have seen Will Anderson Jr. get his security. We have seen Azeez Al-Shaair, Danielle Hunter, and even Dalton Schultz get their deals done. These are the cornerstones, the guys who are supposed to lead us to the promised land. But for some reason, the most important piece of the entire puzzle is standing on the outside looking in. According to reports from Jeremy Fowler, the sentiment around the league is shifting. Executives are starting to whisper that a deal might not even happen this summer. Think about that for a second. Our franchise quarterback, the man who changed the entire culture in Houston, might be heading into the 2026 season without a long-term commitment. The Texans have been verbally supportive, saying all the right things in the media, but they haven't tipped their hand. It creates this heavy atmosphere of uncertainty. Why wait? If he is the guy, why are we letting this linger? Some insiders are saying the team is loosely expecting Stroud to play out the fourth year of his rookie pact. This isn't just about money. It is about the message it sends to the locker room. When you see everyone else getting their payday, you start to wonder what the plan is for the leader of the offense. Now, this is where it gets interesting because this patient approach is a massive departure from how they handled Will Anderson. It feels like there is a different set of rules for the quarterback position, and that creates a hidden tension that could boil over if things don't go perfectly. We are less than 4 months away from the season, and the most important conversation hasn't even reached a substantive level. It makes you wonder if there is more going on behind closed doors than we are being told. The Texans are playing a dangerous game of poker with the most valuable asset they have ever had. It is a bold strategy, but it carries a level of risk that could redefine the next decade for this franchise. The deeper you look at this, the more you realize how much is at stake for both sides. By holding out on a deal, the Texans are essentially putting CJ Stroud on a final trial. They want to see another full season of growth before they back up the truck and hand over a record-breaking contract. But here is the thing. We saw some turbulence in the prior seasons. We saw moments where the growth seemed to stall, and that has clearly left a mark on the decision-makers in the front office. If Stroud has a lackluster fourth season in 2026, the entire narrative around this franchise changes instantly. It becomes much harder to justify a massive second contract if the consistency isn't there. That is the risk. By waiting, Houston maintains flexibility. They have him signed through 2026 and have that $25.9 million fifth-year option in their back pocket. It gives the team an escape hatch if things go south. But as a fan, that feels incredibly precarious. You want your quarterback to feel like the king of the city, not a guy on a year-to-year audition. The emotional weight of playing without a contract can be heavy. We have seen it affect other players across the league. It adds a layer of pressure to every throw and every decision on the field. If he struggles, the fans will start to question if the front office was right to wait. If he succeeds, the price goes up. It is a high-stakes gamble on the maturity and the mental toughness of a young player. The roster is getting expensive, and every dollar matters, but you have to wonder if the emotional cost of this uncertainty is worth the potential savings. We are talking about a guy who is supposed to be the face of the Texans for the next 15 years. To have league executives pushing back on the idea of an extension this summer tells you that the league is watching this closely. There is a sense that the Texans are being colder and more calculated than people expected. It creates a narrative of show me more, rather than we believe in you. That subtle shift in tone can change the chemistry of a team that is trying to build a championship culture from the ground up. And honestly, this is where things change because the financial implications are absolutely terrifying if the Texans wait too long. We all know how the quarterback market works. Every single time a new deal is signed, the floor for the next one rises. If CJ Stroud goes out there in 2026 and has a massive bounce-back season, the price tag is going to explode. We are talking about millions of dollars in extra cap space that could have been used to keep this elite roster together. The Texans are betting that they can save money by waiting, but they might be doing themselves a massive disservice. If he meets the expectations the front office says they have for him, he will have every bit of leverage in the world next summer. And that is the biggest question. Why take the chance of having to pay 50 or 60 million more over the life of a contract just to see one more season? This could become something much bigger than just a contract dispute. It could become a situation where the player feels undervalued. We have seen how quickly these relationships can sour in the NFL. When a team gets ahead of schedule with other players but drags its feet with the quarterback, it creates a divide. The Texans have been busy rewarding the defense and the support staff, but the engine of the car is still waiting for fuel. For a roster that is going to be as expensive as this one will be in a couple of years, those extra dollars saved now could be the difference between keeping a star receiver or letting him walk in free agency. But doing this deal now could also turn ugly really quickly if he doesn't meet those lofty expectations. It is a tightrope walk over a canyon. Every week that passes without news makes that fourth season under center exponentially more important. It is no longer just about winning games. It is about proving he deserves the bag. That kind of pressure can either forge a diamond or crush a player. The front office is banking on the former, but the history of the NFL is littered with teams that waited too long and ended up paying a much higher price in more ways than one. I am going to be honest with you guys, this actually worries me. I really like the moves Nick Caserio has made to bolster the defense, but this approach with our quarterback feels like playing with fire. I think fans should pay attention to the language being used by the team. They are supportive, but they aren't committed to the paper yet. This could be incredible if it motivates our guy to have an MVP caliber season, or this could become a problem that haunts us for years. I want to believe the front office has a master plan, but we have seen how fast windows close in this league. You don't want to enter a season with your leader wondering if the team truly believes in him. It feels like we are holding our breath, waiting for a headline that might never come this year. There is a balance between being smart with the salary cap and being smart with your franchise's soul. CJ Stroud represents hope for Houston. He represents the end of the dark years. To see league insiders loosely expecting him to play without a deal makes me feel like we are tempting fate. We should be doing everything possible to make him feel like he is the foundation of everything we are building. If we wait until next summer, we are essentially saying that his first few years weren't enough to convince us. That is a tough pill to swallow for a fan base that has already bought his jersey and put their faith in him. I hope I am wrong and this results in a cheaper, better deal down the road, but right now, it just feels like unnecessary tension. The locker room knows who the leader is, and they are watching how he is treated. If the Texans want to be a destination for top talent, they have to show they take care of their own when the time comes. This move, or lack thereof, is going to be the defining story of the year. It overshadows the new signings and the draft picks because everything depends on number 7. We are all just waiting for that one piece of news that confirms the future is secure. But for now, we are left with nothing but questions and a lot of nervous energy. The story is far from over, and that is the most frustrating part for us as fans. We are heading into a season where every pass and every touchdown is going to be viewed through the lens of a contract negotiation. The pressure is higher than it has ever been. If the Texans don't strike a surprise deal tomorrow, we are looking at a year of intense scrutiny. The difference between a multi-million-dollar commitment and further questions next offseason is razor thin. This one decision by the front office could change everything for the Houston Texans. It is a gamble that will either look like a stroke of genius or a massive failure of management. We have to stay tuned because something bigger is still coming. This narrative isn't going away until that pen hits the paper. I want to hear from you, the real faithful. Does this wait bother you, or do you trust the process? Are you worried that the price will go too high, or do you think the flexibility is more important? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because this is the conversation that will define our season. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into everything happening behind the scenes at NRG Stadium. We are all in this together, watching and waiting to see if our star gets the respect he has earned. The future is uncertain, but one thing is for sure. The 2026 season just became the most important year in recent memory.